All right, Ryan, what are we talking about today?
Yeah. So I just not to get too gloomy on you guys, but we always try to
Click out right now. No,
we always try to keep with the modern times, and sometimes current events that are happening today aren't the most fun or exciting, but they are part of the world that we live in. So we just try to bring you guys perspective on that. But interesting topic I read about the other day is a lot of you guys out there, might be part of our age range, which is the millennials. And one interesting tidbit I read was that we're technically going to be the first group of Americans that will be worse off than our parents were. And I thought that was pretty interesting or at least since the Great Depression, which was, the late 1920s and 30s.
1929.
Yeah, so I just thought it was interesting that we're the first generation to...
Did it say specifically worse off from our parents' generation financially?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, in terms of getting a head start, where it's
so
like
marriage, buying houses.
Yes, jobs, marriage, savings.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're behind from our parents in every single category, and it's like economists have been taking a look at that, and they're just like, whoa. So what's interesting, what I thought was, we're gonna be like the first to be in almost back-to-back recessions, because it was like the one in '08.
Yep.
And then like a 10-year kind of hiatus, and then now there's a new one brewing, which is going to be even supposedly stronger than the last one.
Which is a scary thought, man, because the one in '08 was really devastating.
Yeah, that was insane. I still have a lot of memories from that. But yeah, just kind of want to throw it out there to you guys. If any of you guys feel like you're going through anything with like student loan debt or car loans, or maybe you're trying to buy your first house. If there's like anything that's, kind of getting in your way to maybe progress further than our parents' generation. And I don't know if there should be maybe I don't know if there should be government assistance programs, because I know that'll just take more money out of, taxpayers' pockets. But like, how do you progress out of the slump that we're in, as millennials? Because it's like, you got student loans up the A, then you got these car loans. Maybe you're like in your late 20s, early 30s like us, and you're just trying to get your first house.
Jesus, late 20s, early 30s. That's a crazy thought.
Yeah, and like maybe you're just trying to qualify for your first house, and you're just like, maybe you want to have a kid on the way, but you're almost like you're trying to take that step forward, but this
you can't.
Yeah, everything around you is just trying to keep you down. Because I think even bank lending now, they're very strict with like how they give out loans. And
although I've been hearing some stories about them approving people that they shouldn't be approving, and lowering rates to get people to take loans. I don't. It's an interesting dilemma, so to speak.
Yeah, this is something I thought was interesting, because it's like, we were taught and raised like, you guys will be prosperous. You go to college or whatever job you're going to do, and you'll be able to have a family and live out your dreams. But it's like, shoot, our dreams are kind of like sitting on the wayside for a bit, but
kind of stalled.
Yeah, kind of stalled out. But in contrast to that, there is like all these opportunities that are out there, like in terms of the internet, YouTube.
Yeah.
So we're kind of have one leg where we're just kind of like being dragged down by the economy, but on the other side, we're trying to get this YouTube channel started and to kind of propel ourselves into this new age of using technology to better yourself. So it's kind of like two.
I think millennials, or just us in general, are in that weird where we were raised in the old way, so to speak, financially, but there is this new avenue, and we're not as well versed in that, I think. So I would almost say like your brother and your sisters, the next generation after us, they grew up on technology. They know how it works. They know how YouTube and Snapchat and Twitch and all these social media platforms work. And so they're at home with it.
Yeah.
So it almost kind of feels like we're not left behind, but we're in like a weird area where we're not sure if we're in one or the other.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's kind of a weird... Yeah, it is a weird thing now that you mention that.
Yeah, I feel like my siblings' generation, they will be so like well versed with technology that if they need to go on any sort of social media website to maybe if they're trying to find a job, they try to promote themselves. They'll be so like into all that stuff.
Or even just like, I've got cousins that sell shoes, resell shoes. The sneaker business is huge reselling, and selling clothes. There's a place called Poshmark where you can sell your clothes, and there's all these business opportunities,
like side gigs everywhere.
Yeah, that they're taking advantage of. Which kudos to them, but that's not how we were raised. Like, we're raised in the old school, trying to figure out. I guess the one positive thing, because we are trying to be positive with the channel, is at least we have the avenue to branch out of the old.
Yeah,
which is what we're trying to do with the podcast and vlogging and all that stuff, because it's clearly the 9 to 5, the student debt, just the way the structure is stacked now.
It's like a dying way of life.
Yeah,
now.
Really. Mm-hmm.
Like that formula worked at one point in time, but now it's come to a point where it's we need to hit the reset button. We can't keep putting people on this conveyor belt of debt. It's like education, debt, and then try to work to pay it off for like 20, 30 years of your life, and it's like...
And you can't.
So it's like multiply that by like however millions got into that system, and it's like no wonder this economy is starting to really just like sputter out a bit. But I think the faster people start to learn these alternative gigs, these side gigs, and
it's about adapting.
Yeah, adapting. As soon as they start to adapt, then they can somehow kind of work their way out of the situation that they got into with all the massive debt.
It's just hard because we're lazy. Millennials are lazy, man.
Yeah.
We want the success, we want the end game, but we don't necessarily want to work towards it. I think that's an issue as well. But yeah, I mean, you make a good point. What do you think about? You said something about stimulus or the government trying to come in at all. Did you have any ideas? Is this a Yang thing?
Yeah, maybe. Well, I was thinking about somehow the government kind of take care of some of our loans, but I think maybe not even pay us back. But I think there has to be a cutoff point where it's like, hey guys, like I know you're like super like strapped with cash right now, so you need to maybe after like a couple $1,000 or even less, like we're just gonna make you like we're gonna cut off your debt. And
then they would lose so much money. Like the thing is, they would never do that. The banks would never agree to that because they would lose billions.
It'd almost have to be almost like an IOU, like over 20, 30 years of time, the U.S. government would promise to pay back those loans. Mm-hmm. Although, like you said, it would be billions that would take a long time to... But then, so if nothing happens, though, it's like, so this economy grinds to a halt. We don't have money for families, for houses. So there's like a huge gap of inequality from like...
Is that why they're saying or predicting it's going to be worse than the last one?
Yeah.
Because there's no way out of it, so to speak?
Yeah, because we're like super in debt. They have all these houses they keep building all over the place that not too many people are going to be living in these houses because we just don't have the cash.
Well, the rich are buying them right now.
Yeah. But that's the thing too. So like foreign investment was huge last recession with the Chinese and all the different immigrant. But even that is dried up.
Really?
China's on the verge of their own recession right now.
I saw that.
And with the whole tariff battles with Trump and their president, it's grinding their economy down to a halt too. So when you got the two biggest superpowers coming to like a standstill, that's like, whoa, okay, we got some issues going on there.
Are there predictions as to when they can see a recession, possibly? 2020, 2021?
They're saying sometime early next year into late next year would be kind of like the beginning of it.
Damn.
And then so the millennials, I think we're from like 82 or 83 to like 97. That's like our age range.
Oh, I think it's before 97. I thought it was like 95. Oh yeah, I mean it's around there.
Yeah, like 97 is a cutoff, I think, and then like 82 or 83 is like the start of it. But
which is crazy that people in the 80s are still categorized as like I don't think are they in student debt as well? People from the 80s?
They're in their own, but it's
it's nothing like today.
Nothing like our from like 90 to 97. Those people that ranges in a lot of debt. But and then before 82 is Generation X. I think that's like 67 to 81 or 80 or something like that.
What's your brother, Z?
That's Z, 2001. But yeah, so it's interesting because we're like, I think we're the second biggest group next to the baby boom. The baby boomers were like the biggest age range, and we're the next. So there's gonna be like this huge gap of like inequality with like these people just trying to get themselves out of debt. First of all, get themselves out of debt, and then get into a house.
Well, that's the thing is like, what about people like, I'm not in any school debt. I've paid off all of mine, and I still like, I can't go buy a house. I can't go buy a car. Like it's. I don't think it's just school loans. I think the whole game itself is incentivized for the wrong reasons.
It's rigged. The whole thing is rigged. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, you brought up a good point. Let alone forget the school loans. It's just,
that's a huge part of it. Don't get me wrong, but there's still other factors.
So that's a huge. I forgot how many millions of people there are in the millennials, but that's like a huge like chunk of people that will not be able to, spend money on certain goods, certain services, homes, auto loans, and so that will ripple down the timeline in terms of sales.
Well, we're already kind of seeing it now.
Yeah, we're and can you imagine in 2-3 years when it hits full effect? So that's why it's interesting to read about that. So it's if you guys are feeling that right now and you're just like, hey man, like just. We're barely trying to make ends meet. Just leave a comment down below. We want to hear about that because that's.
Well, the sad thing is there really isn't answers.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a lot of smart people, smarter than us, trying to figure out, what to do and how to fix this. But I don't think there's going to be, kind of one fix to fit, to fix everything. I think it's going to take a lot. I think in order to fix it, wouldn't it make sense that there would be maybe more taxes? Doesn't that kind of just seem natural? If you're going to forgive a bunch of debt, I don't know. It's very interesting.
The issue is with our current president. He's not the biggest fan of taxes, but I think eventually, if it gets to like such a bad point that there's no other choice, like he's going to have to make some crazy cuts on some services. Hopefully not Social Security because the old folks definitely need that little bit of cash coming in. But
do you think the presidential Andrew Yang, do you think his $1,000 that's perfect for our generation? Do you think that it should be here's 1,000, here's 2,000, here's whatever? Is it money? Is that what would fix it?
I think for the time for a while that would be like a Band-Aid fix, but
not long term.
It's not the long term fix. The long term fix is we need our loans to somehow work themselves out where we're not just totally drowning in debt.
Maybe have a new program for millennials to get into houses at a lower rate.
Yeah.
Lower interest rate. There's got to be something, because if you think, I mean, not to interrupt you, if you give $1,000, I know a lot of people, if you gave them $1,000 right now, they wouldn't pay their student debts.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't.
Like it would go back to the economy, but there's got to be. Like you said, it would be only a Band-Aid fix. Yeah,
if we get that stimulus every month, maybe we could make it a way that would be mandatory.
No. Now, could it only be for millennials, that 1,000, or is it everybody gets it?
Damn. See, so if you just say millennials, then other people will complain.
Pissed, yeah. Like, what the heck? How come they're getting 1,000?
It'll have to be all.
I paid all my taxes. I paid off my school loan. How come I'm not getting it? Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Which didn't he come up with a way of making that a possibility?
Yeah, diving into the corporate offshore accounts where they hide billions of dollars there. Like Amazon, Starbucks.
So has Trump ever expressed interest, and we're not trying to get super political here, but has Trump ever expressed interest in giving some sort, not universal basic income, but just kind of a stimulus to people? Is that something that he's even...
I don't think he really has. I know I read something like a few weeks ago where I think veterans, like disabled veterans, have their loans completely forgiven. Okay. So that's one step in the right. You know, he took one step in the right direction there. So yeah, veterans with disability that come back from war and you know they got maybe a limb, you know, blown off or something, and so they will be automatically forgiven on student loans, which is pretty cool.
So I will say that is joining the military, for all of its kind of, you know, downsides. One of the many upsides is the bills that you get. The post 9/11, the GI Bill. My cousin's boyfriend was in the Edmund was in the military, deployed. He's come out and he's using the GI Bill to buy a house. They're moving.
Oh, are they really?
Paramount, which is, my grandma said it's between Long Beach and LA.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So they're gonna get a house down there, and he's got a new job. This is what she said, and not to get off topic, but she said he's gonna be interviewing celebrities.
Oh.
And it was like,
okay.
He's like the most antisocial person ever. How is he going to be interviewing celebrities?
Almost like what's that, Mario Lopez from Extra?
I don't know. I don't know the whole shindig of it, but he's using the military benefits to kind of kickstart life, so to speak. So
okay.
And the whatever he doesn't use in terms of, because I believe it's the post 9/11 bill or one of them. Their education is free or almost tuition free. But if he doesn't use it, their daughter, Michaela, can use it.
Wow. So it passes on.
Passes on to the children, not wow. My cousin or anything, to your children.
See that?
So it's almost like, if it gets really bad, I could see people, I know there's people that have been doing that forever. They go in for a couple years and they come out, and then they go back to school. They're like, hey, I'll join the military for 4 years. Do what I need to do, and then I come out and I go back to school. They pay for it, and then they help me get my house, and it's kind of like a jump start.
Wow.
So there are alternative ways to getting through, but few and far between.
Yeah, if there's a way now, the people in the military, you know, for I would say 99.9% of them, they deserve everything they get because they serve the country. You know, they've done great work, and definitely that system should be for them. But there should also be like I think it's come to the point now where we need our own public system for just normal people, just to make it, because you know it's like our jobs are getting automated. A lot of people in the Midwest losing all their jobs to robots and industries that have gone to like China and India. So they're not doing manufacturing anymore. We're getting everything from them, and a lot of them turning to like opioids and crazy drugs and stuff. So it's come to a point now where we need a stimulus for like just the common person, just to make it. And then also for student loans, that's a whole nother thing. We need a program for them to almost like what FDR when he made the New Deal. The New Deal. There was like public service projects where people would
put them to work
here, and then in this segment they would go to work at, you know, building railroads or fixing.
So you could potentially fix infrastructure. You could tackle some of these things and put people to work.
Yeah. I think if Yang or someone along the lines of that gets in power, there will have to be some stimulus programs to get people to get back to work, and because a lot of jobs will be lost. This economy is going to go back into some crazy recession. And a lot of even these real estate developers out here in California, they're building a lot of these houses are multi-million dollars, and
they're just going to sit.
They're just going to sit there because who will be the buyers for these houses?
Unless there are those people that prey on recessions, they go around and they buy 10 different properties for cheap, and then they wait for the economy to come back, which it will, and then they flip it for a profit. There were a lot of people that did that in 2008.
That's very true.
Yeah, it's kind of shady, but I mean, you know, business is business, I guess. But yeah, I agree. I think there should be something for just, I don't want to say common, just you know, average people. You know, us who are trying to make it day by day. We're law-abiding citizens. Yeah, I think it's a tough sell, though. Like, what are they really? I don't know. $1,000 would be nice, but I've only heard one candidate endorse that. I haven't heard anybody else say they'd be down to that. But yeah,
depending where this recession goes, I don't know if like it'll, because it's like the U.S. and China have been the great superpowers for a long, long time, but now will this kind of ripple effect? The two great superpowers, will other countries start to take the lead since we're so like in debt? That'll be interesting.
We just can't pass anything. It's just bickering and fighting, and
now they're talking about that new world currency. That video I sent you, but they're saying the U.S. dollar is losing like a lot of power. Like the U.S. dollar should not dictate what other countries around the world.
Well, they're devaluing it, I think.
Yeah. So I think we're coming upon a new age of technology and of like currency where like the major superpowers, like power will be more equally distributed little by little as time goes on. And this will be kind of like a global reset that we're kind of,
Is that where they? I mean, I know like we've heard it so much, that New World Order thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I think one thing, I guess, just to spin it back on a positive note, there has been the Great Depression. There was 2008. There's been other recessions. We've always come out of it. Yeah. So at the end of the day, if there is this next one, yeah, it's going to be tough, but. People will dig deep. You'll have to save a little bit more. You're going to have to grind a little bit harder. But there was a really good quote, and I'm going to butcher it. It was like, hard times make like strong men, and weak times make weak men, or something like that. And so I think sometimes you need the hard times in order to appreciate the good times.
Yeah, you definitely do. These next few years will create a lot of sturdy, hardy people that have been through the worst times.
Right. Which that sounds terrible to say. Like, I was just listening to you say that. That sounds terrible. But I think you do. I think you do need to go through some things. But I hope it's not as bad. If we really have another one, I hope it's not as bad. I hope they can get the student loans in order. I hope they do come up with a stimulus for people. Give them maybe not 1,000, maybe give them something. Hey, if you have a job, and you're over 18, you get $500. You get X amount of money. Anything. Incentivize people to work. Do the government work programs like you said. I think those are steps in the right direction for sure.
Yeah. So just not to bring too much. Depression or sadness, doom or gloom. Like, I'm sure life is already hard enough as it is for you guys, but just something I read that
piqued your interest.
Yeah, just a little bit of storm clouds up in the horizon. Just nothing's too crazy right now, but just so you guys can keep an eye out. And if there's any millennials out there, I hope you guys have savings and you have everything taken care of.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is there things preemptively that you can be doing if storm's on the way, so to speak? Is there start saving a little bit more? Try and is there any recommendations you have for someone listening?
Yeah, definitely. I would just start to save as much as you can. Maybe if you're looking to buy a house, I wouldn't buy it just yet. Wait another 6 to 12 months. If there is a recession, home prices will start to fall. So wait it out a bit. If you have money in stocks or in terms of that, maybe take a bit out, de-risk a bit, maybe put it into gold or
precious metals or something.
Precious metals, or if you're a little more risk averse, cryptocurrencies.
Right. Or just under your mattress.
Under your mattress, yeah. Not financial advice. Yep. None of that is not.
Nope.
But
thanks for scaring us, Wells Fargo. That's a story for another date.
Just maybe start to save as much as you can just for a rainy day. And
what if they're like, we have nothing to save? Everything's going into. I got insurance, I got loans, I got rent, I got groceries. I'm eating a cup of noodles every day.
Oh shoot!
What would you say to them?
Make sure to reach out to your local community shelter. And
you said that so oh God.
No, but no. If that's the case, and I just want to
say sorry in advance.
Maybe if you're not working multiple jobs, because there is people that are working they're like one paycheck away from yeah. But damn, no, that's a tough one right there.
So you think there'll be the forecast is recession before the next election then, essentially?
Yeah,
Okay.
right. Because it should start like early to mid next year.
The
positive note is, we're living in an age now where it's like, even with all that going on, we have these great opportunities with technology.
Mm-hmm.
Social media. Josh and I decided to embark on this podcast. Almost a year ago. Actually, it's coming. We had the idea. We sat down at New Year's Eve and really hashed it out. But there is, with all that said, there's plenty of opportunities around you. If you guys look for any side gigs. We live in the age of the smartphone and apps. There's an app for everything. If you guys need to find quick work to make some money, there is like a bunch of apps. Like Rover, which is a dog walking app. There's Uber, of course, Lyft,
Grubhub,
DoorDash. There's pretty much an app for any service that people need. So if you're looking to make some quick money and you need a job, there's a lot of opportunities on YouTube. With streaming, with Twitch. Obviously, these things take time. You're not going to make, a lot of money off the bat, but if you put...
Unless you're really lucky, but most people,
If you put the time and effort and you build and work hard to make your brand, a success with YouTube or Twitch, whichever avenue you like to go down, you can start to make a good, a decent amount of money to make ends meet. And it's definitely worth venturing into that, I think.
So that could be something if they are interested in those avenues. If you are working a few jobs and you do have some extra time and you can maybe reevaluate or look into some other avenue, so to speak, of work, I think now's the time. Do you think YouTube and Twitch and all that type of stuff was going to be hit during the recession, or do you think that will be one of the constants?
I think that'll be a constant as long as people are connected.
Still watching and watch, yeah.
Yeah, as long as people have Wi-Fi and are connected, there'll always be an audience for that. Mm-hmm. Especially if you work a long day, long hours, and you just want to escape for a bit. You log into my favorite Twitch person streaming. I'm gonna check them out and kind of.
Or if nobody's working, there's more people tuning in.
Yeah, more entertainment. Because people in times of high stress, entertainment is always the main thing to get your mind off. Crazy stuff going on. So yeah, we're as even though there's a recession, these crazy things happening, there is a lot of opportunity out there that if you guys look hard enough and you find a passion that you want to bring to the forefront, you guys have the opportunity with the internet, with social media, you can get out there and find a job for yourself.
Take the plunge.
Just gotta take that plunge, yeah.
But yeah, okay. How long have we been going, Ryan?
Just about almost 30 minutes. So.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else there you want to add, I think we'll leave it there. So, for now, just food for thought. But next podcast will be more positive.
Heck yeah. Just wanted to throw that out there. But stay positive, guys. Work hard and always go for your passion because that's what will fuel you the most at the end of the day.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, we're going to leave it there.
Go ahead and sign off with that, but hope you guys have a great weekend.
Take it easy.
Take it easy, guys.